Hey there, and welcome to episode 19 of our Neighborhoods of Airdrie series, where we go through each neighborhood in detail to help you decide which one seems to be the best fit for you. So 19 of these episodes now, which means we're about halfway-ish through the neighborhoods in Airdrie. So if you'd like us to keep going with this series, go ahead and hit that like button below and subscribe so you can keep an eye out for the next 19 episodes. Well, today we're going to be going over the quiet community of Stonegate, which you'll find in the northwest quadrant of the city, just north of Veterans Boulevard and west of Main Street. Stonegate is home to just over 1,500 people, and many of them have chosen Stonegate as their home for one of these reasons. Now, first off, we have the amenities, and this is one of the reasons that makes this neighborhood special, in my opinion, as you have a commercial center right at the front of the community with plenty of local businesses and places to eat in there. And in addition to that, Airdrie Crossing is just across Main Street, where you'll find some of the big name stores like Superstore, Canadian Tire, Dollarama, Boston Pizza, Tim Hortons, and a lot more than that. So amenities wise and day-to-day shopping wise, you can't really go wrong here in Stonegate. You'll be in a fantastic position to not have to go very far for those daily conveniences and essentials. Now, the small population and being on the edge of the city here makes for a close-knit environment. It can get busier right at the entrance of the neighborhood and where all the commercial and townhouses are, but outside of that, there's never a crazy amount of traffic and no through traffic here inside the neighborhood. So though you're still in the city and very close to the amenities, it is quite quiet in the neighborhood to live in. Another factor to it being quiet is that there's no schools directly in Stonegate, which just adds to that relaxed feel of the neighborhood. Now, because there are no schools here, simply because of the size of Stonegate, that means there's only a couple small playgrounds within the neighborhood, and because of these factors, it can attract a more mature crowd or families with older kids or people who aren't as worried about the features within the neighborhood, like tons of walking paths, green spaces, or landscaping. Now, with that being said, just like any other neighborhood in Airdrie, there are still a ton of families in the area with young kids. So if you do have school-age children, kids from kindergarten to grade 5 will go to Ecole Edwards School, middle schoolers grades 6 to 8 will be at Ecole Airdrie, and those grade 9 to 12 will go to George McDougall High School. Now, all three of these schools are part of what's called the Tri-School area, which is just south of Stonegate in an older part of Airdrie, and it'll be about a 20-minute walk, give or take, depending on where you're at in Stonegate. But if your kids will be walking, keep in mind that they will have to cross a big intersection at Veterans Boulevard. Now, having all three levels of school in the same area can be nice though, because even if you have kids that would be going to different schools, they can still walk to school together if they're going to that tri-school area. Now, as for outdoor recreation here in Stonegate, there's not a ton here. There are a few walking paths on the west side of the neighborhood, in addition to those couple playgrounds, but that's about it right inside of the neighborhood. If you do like to go for walks or runs or bike rides though, Williamstown Environmental Reserve is just about a 10 or 15 minute walk away and includes the creek running through, walking trails, and pedestrian bridges. Now, moving on to the homes here in Stonegate. The types of homes you're going to find here are going to be a mix of detached homes, semi-detached homes, and two townhouse complexes here in the neighborhood. The homes here were built from 1999 up until around 2006, so unless it's been renovated, you aren't going to find a lot of the modern style homes here. You'll find things like dark hardwood floors, fireplaces, and good sized backyards on most of the properties, with some backing onto farmland to the north. But there is a community going in where that farmland is, as you can see on this image here. So if a house is currently backing onto that farmland with a great view, just know that in a few years, the community of Davy Creek is planned to be built there. Now, as for prices in Stonegate, townhouses currently are going to be in the $300,000 to $375,000 range or so. The semi-detached homes will be in the $400,000 to $450,000 range, and for the detached homes right now, they can be anywhere between $450,000 and $550,000. And one other thing that we should note here about Stonegate is there are a number of homes that are going to back onto the train tracks on the west side of the neighborhood, so just something to know if you're looking to stay away from those train tracks. So in summary, the community is great if you want a quiet, relaxing place to live while still being close to the amenities, but without all the busy recreation amenities that you see in the newer areas. You're not going to have an HOA here. There's not going to be an oversaturation of young families or construction, which can definitely appeal to a lot of buyers. But if you're looking to be very close to schools or have a lot of outdoor amenities or very new homes, then Stonegate's probably not going to be the place for you. Well, that about does it for episode 19 of our Neighborhoods of Airdrie series. I'm Brad Walker, your local Airdrie Realtor with Real Broker, and we'll see you in the next video.